What's up, people? Today I am getting into the 2004 Punisher film in 4K Ultra HD, and I got that coming up for you next. So the 2004 Punisher film starring Thomas Jane just came out in 4K. I couldn't be more excited to talk to you guys about this movie. I am a huge Punisher fan, and when this film came out, I was there day one. This movie, besides some weird tonal shifts, is a lot of fun for me, and even though I don't necessarily like the origin so much, I hate the fact that they tried to make him seem kind of like mystical, like he actually rose from the dead. But once I get past that, I have a lot of fun with this movie. I really like the fact that they've taken what is essentially Welcome Back, Frank, and that is a comic book that came out a little bit before this film came out, and it was just pretty much a reboot for The Punisher. And really, they've taken the comedic elements of that comic book and applied it to here to better success than I would think. I love the fight with the Russian, just how crazy it is, and I like the fight with the guitar guy when he just comes into that restaurant and plays him a song on his guitar, and then they go out in the street and have that car chase. I definitely like the action in this movie, and I like the Punisher in this movie. Thomas Jane is a pretty kick-ass Punisher, and when this movie came out, he was the Punisher for me. I do think the newest Punisher will take over that mantle eventually, but I do like Thomas Jane in that role. And I like this movie for the most part. What I will say is something that I didn't like was the methodical way that he pretty much took down John Travolta's character here, and I just feel like Howard Saint is kind of a weak and ineffectual villain here, and I just don't feel like he did that much villainous shit to get what he deserved. He needed to be more villainous in this movie, and I know that they tried to make him more sympathetic, but I don't feel like that worked that great here. And the way that the Punisher takes him out, the methodical way he does it, I feel like the Punisher wouldn't really do that. But besides all that, I do really enjoy watching this movie, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. And getting into the 4K quality, because this Blu-ray is really old, and I'm not even going to get into it, I will just say that it was a product of its time, and that time has passed, and I was glad to have this new 4K version, that they actually did a 4K scan on, so this does have a 4K digital intermediate now. Right off the top, I will say that this is a sharper image with a lot better shadow detail, and overall it just has sharper edges throughout this film. But I will say that at the beginning I was a little worried because especially at that boat scene, some of the blacks did still crush a little bit, and I will say that a lot of the sharper points that I will talk about come after the Punisher becomes the Punisher. So pretty much after the Punisher's family dies, this film gets a whole lot better as far as the quality of the disc. I will say that establishing shots and wider shots do seem a lot softer than close-ups, but close-ups do reveal a real good amount of detail there that really wasn't on that Blu-ray. Now, along with HDR, this was actually given Dolby Vision, and I will say that despite some of the explosions and the action, I really feel like the Dolby Vision doesn't really help out that much. And even in the shadow detail, like I said earlier, I did notice an upgrade in shadow detail, but I feel like at points, I wanted even more. And really, this isn't the greatest display for Dolby Vision. But, hey, this is still an upgrade from that Blu-ray, and a pretty strong one that I will give a 7 out of 10 to. This isn't the best, but it is a lot better. And getting into the audio of The Punisher 2004, man, this is where it steps up, because you get a Dolby Atmos mix. Now, I would just like to comment on the fact that on that Blu-ray, you don't even get a high definition audio for that Blu-ray. It was a Dolby Digital EX 6.1 mix, I think it was. Yeah. And here, you're given that Dolby Atmos. This is where this disc truly shines. You notice it right off the top. Speaker separation is largely improved, and surrounds are greatly improved as well. Height speaker work, you do get a lot of atmosphere in the height speakers that allow for more immersion, but I don't really feel like this movie really would translate over to Dolby Atmos that well as far as high speaker work is concerned, but I feel like they do the most that they can with it. And the overall just field of sound blows the old Blu-ray mix out of the water, and I feel like this is a great upgrade that if you guys enjoy this film, you need to pick up if you have the capabilities. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And as far as the digital copy here goes, you get the same digital copy that Lionsgate always puts out, where you have to go to their specific website and put in their code, and then you can view it on iTunes. That unfortunately is not the 4K version of this film. You get the regular Blu-ray standard version of the film, but hey. But special features here are largely kicked up from the Blu-ray, and all of them are on the 4K disc. You get audio commentary with the director that I kind of feel like is a little pretentious. This director only complains about the production here, and it's not really a great listen, but it is one that I've heard some people do like. And then there are about 3 featurettes that go into different aspects of the filming of this movie. They go into the stunts, they go into the translation between the comic book to the screen, and they go into the production of the film. And then you also have a music video here. This is a good amount of special features for a release that are all on the 4K disc. I would have liked a little more, but I'm still going to give it a 7 out of 10. This is above average amount of special features that I am glad are on the 4K disc. And getting into my last looks at The Punisher 2004. Look, I know that this isn't the perfect Punisher movie, but I like Thomas Jane in the role, and I like a lot of the action in this film. It mixes comedy with action really, really well at times, like the scene where he goes up against the Russian, who I believe is Kevin Nash. And yeah, I just really like a lot of aspects about this movie, and I just always enjoy coming back to it. And yeah, that's just how I feel about this one. And when you add up all my scores for Punisher 2004 in 4K Ultra HD, you come out to a 30 out of 40. This is a movie that if you like, you need to pick this up in 4K. If not for the upgraded video, but just for the upgraded audio here and the addition of some special features that weren't on that Blu-ray, this is a really great pickup for you guys. So next, I am going to be getting into the Punisher Warzone, and that is another one that just came out, and I'm going to be getting that to you next, along with Solo, a Star Wars story, and all of the X-Men films that just came out. So the first 3, I'm going to be getting a whole lot of videos to you guys this week, so stay tuned and subscribe so you know when that stuff comes out. And thank you for watching. You guys are awesome, and you know you're damn awesome, and I will see all of you next time.